Okay, so have you ever stopped to think about the journey of the phone in your hand? And what about, say, a life-saving relief kit headed to a disaster zone? I mean, they both travel the world through these huge, complex networks we call supply chains, but, and this is the really interesting part, their journeys are like two parallel universes, totally different rules, totally different goals, and a completely different idea of what success even looks like. So let's peel back the label on these two boxes and see what's really going on. All right, so on one side, we've got what we'll call the gadget. It's a product completely driven by the market, right? Every single step of its journey is designed for one thing: profit. But then you have the life kit. This is an aid package heading into a crisis zone, where the only mission is to save a life. I mean, those goals are just worlds apart. And believe me, that one difference, it changes absolutely everything. Okay, so to really get our heads around their completely different paths, we've got to go right back to the beginning. We have to ask, what's the fundamental driving force that even gets these boxes moving in the first place? Well, for the gadget, the answer is super simple. It's all about profit. Every single decision, and I mean every decision, from the factory floor to the exact shipping route, is filtered through one single question: does this make us money? The entire system is just this incredible engine, fine-tuned for nothing but commercial success. Okay, now let's flip that completely on its head and look at the life kit. Here, the objective isn't measured in dollars and cents. It's measured in human impact. The questions they're asking are totally different. It's all about how fast can we get there? Are we actually saving lives? Are we protecting people's dignity? It is a mission-driven world, not a profit-driven one. Simple as that. And this brings us to another really, really crucial difference. Who is the end user? The gadget, well, that's easy. It serves a paying customer, someone who has clear choices and preferences. But the life kit, it goes to a beneficiary. This is someone in the middle of a crisis who has no choice, and often they can't even voice what they need. And this creates this massive challenge, right? Because the supply chain has to keep the donors happy, the people who fund it, while trying to serve the completely different needs of the people right there on the ground. All right, so let's actually follow the journey itself. Because as we're about to see, one path is this smooth road, paved with data and predictability. And the other? Well, the other is just a constant scramble through pure chaos. I mean, this chart, it tells such a powerful story. A company selling the gadget can look at years and years of data and forecast demand with like 90% accuracy. It's pretty incredible. But you can't forecast an earthquake. You can't predict a flood. So the demand for the life kit just appears out of nowhere in an instant, creating this massive vertical spike that just throws any kind of planning right out the window. And because of that predictability, the commercial world is, it's a well-oiled machine. The gadget just moves through this continuous, predictable flow. We're talking stable roads, modern ports, optimized warehouses. The whole system is just designed for maximum efficiency. But the life kit, it has to navigate a world where all that infrastructure is just gone. Roads are destroyed, ports are damaged, warehouses might not even exist. So this requires some extreme flexibility. We're talking about using any means necessary, trucks, boats, even helicopters, whatever it takes just to get that aid through. And the complexity doesn't stop there. It also extends to the teams themselves. If you look at the commercial side, the chain of command is pretty linear, pretty controlled. But the humanitarian world? Oh man, it's this incredibly complex web of independent players. You've got UN agencies, NGOs, local governments, even the military. And they all have to somehow coordinate under immense pressure. It's like the ultimate logistical puzzle. So, given these two totally different worlds, how do you even define success? I mean, what does a win even look like for each of these supply chains? Well, the answer really gets to the heart of what they value most. Just look at this table. It's night and day. The commercial world, it's all about financial metrics, profit margins, how quickly you can move inventory. A win is all about efficiency. But in the humanitarian world, the clock is your biggest enemy. Success is measured in response time, in the number of people you reached, and at the end of the day, in reducing mortality. It's so clear. One chain optimizes for cost, and the other optimizes for lives. And this quote just captures it perfectly. The commercial world seeks the perfect, cheap solution. The humanitarian world needs the good enough, fast solution. I mean, think about that. In business, you can wait for the most cost-effective, perfect option. But in a disaster, Perfect is the enemy of done. You just need a solution that's good enough, and you need it right now. When lives are on the line, speed always beats cost. So, you might be thinking, these two worlds would just stay in their own lanes forever, right? Completely separate. But what's actually happening today is this fascinating convergence. Despite all their differences, these two paths are starting to meet. And more importantly, they're starting to learn from each other. Yeah, we're seeing this amazing cross-pollination of ideas. On one side, you have humanitarian agencies adopting these really powerful commercial tools, things like data analytics and digital tracking to get aid where it's needed faster and more efficiently. But it's a two-way street. At the same time, the corporate world is looking at humanitarian operations and learning these crucial lessons about resilience. How to improvise when things go completely off the rails. I think both sides are realizing that the goal isn't just about efficiency anymore. It's about building supply chains that can bend without breaking. So, what's the big takeaway here? It's not that one system is better than the other, not at all. It's that the future really depends on combining the best of both worlds, that incredible efficiency of commerce and the unwavering ethics of humanitarian aid. The real goal is to create a single, shared path, one that leads to supply chains that aren't just profitable, but are also profoundly resilient and humane. And all of this leaves us with a pretty big and I think really important question to think about. In a world that's facing more and more complex crises, how can we get the efficiency of commerce and the ethics of aid to work even closer together? Because finding the answer to that, well, it isn't just a good idea anymore. It's absolutely essential for our shared future.